Today I'm going to tell you how I became a millionaire in my 20s. So basically, as many of you know, I became a millionaire from selling on Amazon, not from selling courses or from selling digital products. I actually made over $1 million profit from selling on Amazon. So how did I get to this point, and where did I get started, and what made me start Amazon in the first place over 6 or 7 years ago now? So basically what I did to get started was I was always selling some sort of product, whether it was hockey tickets or whether it was products on eBay, or whether it was, when I originally started on Amazon, was graphing calculators. So I always had some sort of entrepreneurial mindset where I wanted to succeed as an entrepreneur and I didn't want to have to work for someone. So that's where I got started on Amazon 6 or 7 years ago, and marketplace sellers on their platform was a very new thing. They had just started it recently, so there wasn't too many people already selling on there. I was one of the first people who actually started selling on Amazon as a marketplace seller, and especially in Canada. So when I first started on Amazon, I was selling calculators. I didn't have very much money at all, so I was buying them used on eBay and then selling them used on Amazon. And now bring it forward to 2019 and I don't sell any used products. Everything I sell is brand new. If I get a return and it's used, then I'll either sell it on Craigslist or just dispose of it and write it off. So that is kind of where I started. I was always selling something. So I would buy Canucks season tickets when they were actually making the playoffs, and I would buy season tickets and then I would sell the most popular games and then go to some of the games, and it ended up paying for itself, and then I got to go to some games for free. So that was kind of cool. And then I started reaching out to season ticket holders that I knew had extra games, but they didn't want to have to go through the hassle of selling individual games. So then I would offer to buy their tickets at a fraction of their cost, because I was generally buying the games that not as many people wanted to see. And so then I would buy those tickets, but the key to those tickets were they were row 2 up at the glass. So that was a very hot ticket, and that was something that a lot of people wanted. So I was able to buy those tickets, usually about $100 a ticket, and sell them for about $200 a ticket. So I was making a good amount of money just from selling other season ticket holders tickets, and then I was making a little bit off my own season tickets, and then I was able to go to some games for free. So that was kind of cool, and I figured that there was definitely some money to be made, so I started selling on StubHub. I would buy concert tickets and sign up for the pre-sale codes and then get the pre-sale, and when the concert would just go on sale, the pre-sale would go just on sale, then I'd buy pre-sale tickets and then resell them on StubHub for a profit. And that was good for a while, but I realized that I wasn't making enough, or it wasn't something that could be consistently done, because a lot of people were getting into the same sort of market of trying to buy and sell tickets. So at that point I figured, okay, so I'll go into eBay. So then I started selling on eBay. I would sell some stuff that I had just around the house and made a little bit of money. And then I signed up for Amazon shortly after I had been selling on eBay. And then I actually got suspended on eBay right after I started selling on Amazon, because I had grown my Instagram account to over 120,000 followers, and I was selling shoutouts on eBay, which is against their terms of service, so I got booted off eBay. But then it's funny, because in 2017 eBay came back to me and saw my Amazon store, and they reached out to me and asked me to start selling on their platform again. And then I said, okay, yeah, that sounds good. So then they gave me all sorts of incentive to sell on their platform, and basically allowed me to sell unlimited products just like you are able to on Amazon. So at that point I'm starting to sell on Amazon. I just got booted off eBay, and I'm selling those graphing calculators and making a little bit of money. but I was still working my job on weekends and then going to university throughout the weekdays. I remember a day where I was in class and I was at the back of the classroom and I had sold 3 calculators in the time that the class was going on. So it was a 3-hour class and I sold basically 1 per hour. And I was making $30 to $40 on each of those. So I made like almost $100 and I was so happy that I had made that while I was in class. And the funny thing was I was, instead of listening to this, it was actually a geography class that we had to take as an elective. Instead of focusing on this geography class that I'm obviously never going to use anything from in the rest of my life, I was actually on eBay looking for more calculators to resell on Amazon. And this is before the FBA program was around, so you would have to pack and ship all your own products and then ship them to the customer. So obviously now that there's the FBA program, it's a lot better for people who are in smaller spaces or people who just want to get started out, because you are able to offer the prime shipping and really grow your business a lot quicker. So I'm sitting in the back of this class making money while everyone else is paying attention, and it's funny because I never always did the best in those sorts of classes because I didn't really care for them and I knew that I wouldn't really use those classes in the rest of my life. So it's funny because the people who paid attention to those are likely working a 9-to-5 job now and never got the same sort of financial freedom that I have. So what actually brought me to becoming a millionaire? Well, that's when let's fast forward to the point where it was December and I was getting just on the point of hitting 30,000 in sales, and I was wondering whether or not I should close my store so I don't have to create an actual business, or if I should just go for it. So then I decided, okay, I'll go for it, and I ended up selling over 30,000 in that month. And then I had to create a business, so I created the sole proprietorship here in Canada, and then I created also a GST and HST number so that I could start charging tax on my orders. And so at that point, that's when my business started to blow up. So that December it got like 30,000 in sales, and then that next year I started to really make some good money. So then I was able to buy a significant amount of inventory. And I was never living lavishly at that point. I was never going on vacations or wasting money on vehicles and stuff. And I was actually living in my parents' basement at the time, so because I was going to school and just working on weekends. So I was able to save the money that I was making and reinvest it into inventory. That was a nice thing because I was able to basically reinvest anything I was making into more inventory, which in turn became more profit. And that's where the business began to snowball, and the snowball effect just continued and continued. And then I accumulated more and more inventory. I had made over 100 grand in that next year. And then from there, I just kept making more and more, and I was able to buy more inventory. And that's the thing with selling on Amazon is, if you're able to buy more inventory, then you're gonna make more money, because most of the products that I'm buying now are very fast selling, so you don't have to hold them very long and they'll be sold. Whereas back in that time when I was first starting out, I was holding the inventory for a while, and then it would double in value, then I would sell it. Now I've gotten away from that kind of inventory and I focus on fast moving inventory, because then I get my investment back and I can buy more inventory. So basically at that point, I had several $100,000 that I had made from Amazon, and I just kept reinvesting it and got into the fast moving products. And as you get the fast moving products, that's when the products basically they fly off the shelf. So there's actually a product I have now that I can't keep in stock. I can't buy enough of from my supplier. Like, my supplier can't make enough of them in time for me to get them to Amazon and then sell them because they're already sold. So that's a good problem to have, and that's one of my main sellers right now. But basically, you need to consistently reinvest your profits. That's kind of the moral of this, is if you're gonna be making money and then going to waste it and not using it on buying additional inventory, then your business is kind of just gonna stay at the same pace and you're not gonna really grow. And that's how I've grown. Now I have over $1 million in inventory, current inventory right now, and that moves pretty quick. So that's the nice thing, is I'm selling quite a bit each month, and then I'm when I sell that inventory, then I buy more and it's consistently cycling. But the nice thing is all the inventory that I have is completely paid off. So that's where I've become a millionaire, because I have over $1 million in assets. Now I obviously don't have $1 million in my bank account, because that would be stupid. I wouldn't be investing the money that I'm making, and I would just be having it sit there making no money or making very little in interest. So that's why I always reinvest the money that I have, and I'm always buying additional inventory. So if you consider someone being a millionaire to have $1 million in their bank account, then I'm not a millionaire. But if you consider someone to be a millionaire that has over $1 million in assets to their name, and if they could liquidate it, then they'd have over $1 million in their bank account, then yes, I am a millionaire. So that's my definition of it. I don't look at it as someone who has $1 million in cash, because that's kind of where I started. That's how I got selling on Amazon, and then that's how selling on Amazon actually got me to being a millionaire, and now grown to one of the largest Amazon sellers in Canada, and now that I've expanded in the United States, then I'm one of in the top probably 10 to 20,000 of sellers on Amazon.com. So it's cool how fast my business has grown over these last 6 or 7 years, and how I started out literally just thinking that it would be something that I'd make a little bit of extra income off of, never thinking that it would grow to being my full-time income, and then actually grow to making me over $1 million in profit. So that's been a cool journey, and I just kind of wanted to share that with you guys and show you where you can get to with selling on Amazon. You don't have to create a YouTube channel to make $1 million. You don't have to create your own business to make $1 million. You just have to start selling on Amazon. And now I'm not trying to make it sound like it's easy. Like I said, this took me 6 or 7 years to do, but it can be replicated, and it can be done a lot quicker now, because of the fact that there are people teaching you how to do it, and you can learn all sorts of methods that other people are using to sell on Amazon. And that's where I have put everything that I know and that I've learned into my course to help others grow their business just like I have, and take their business to the next level. That doesn't mean that you're gonna make $1 million in your first year, because likely that's nearly impossible unless you have millions of dollars to invest. So that's where you guys just have to keep in mind that it didn't happen overnight, and it's something that I've worked really hard for. I used to work really long days. Now I don't work as long of days, because I have people working for me, and I do everything via Amazon FBA. So it's been nice. I've been able to cut my workload and still make just as much or more money than I was making when I was working 10 to 12 hour days every day. So it does require a lot of hard work and dedication, but I learned everything that I learned on my own. I didn't take a course or anything like that, so it can be done, but it just takes a lot longer if you don't take a course or if you don't learn properly. And so that's why it took me such a long period to make this amount of money, whereas now people have the benefit to make this kind of money in a lot shorter period of time, because they have the resources like a course to teach them how to do it in a lot shorter time frame. So that's a nice thing with selling on Amazon now and getting started selling on Amazon now, is the fact that you do have the ability to learn it from someone who's had a lot of experience. And I will put the link to my course in the description below. It'll be the first link in the description below, and you can sign up there if you are interested in growing your own Amazon FBA business, because I will teach you everything that I know, the methods that I use to grow my business using the online arbitrage business model. And if you are interested in learning more about Amazon FBA without signing up for the course, but just watching some of my free YouTube videos, then click the video beside me now, and this will show you some other ways to make money on Amazon, and it will help you to grow your own business. Thanks for watching.